Hello.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
What's going on? Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
All those mothers out there and everything. Where's your volume? Because I'm going to hear your computer. There it is. Turn the computer down. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, whether you are a mother of a furry animal or a reptile or any type of mammal. Or Happy Mother's Day, of course, to all of you who have children. And Happy Mother's Day, Mama Cheryl and Mama Lori.
Hi.
Super excited. Hey, Carrie, thanks for joining us. I'm going to share this so we can get some
hopefully you guys had an awesome week. We've had some amazing things going on this week. So you got a lot going on. How's your transformation going?
I do. Well, I told you, hold on. I was sharing.
Oh, you're sharing?
Hop on now. Hold on, because I wanted to, I'm going to share it with my peeps. Okay, so I've been doing a athletic transformation, and it's actually been going very well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to hear more, we're actually sharing a lot more details in our private Facebook group called Healthy Philosophies. Oh, we've got so many holas going on. I'm going to put it in the comments. Healthy Philosophies. So come on over and join, but know that in order to join, we have a couple of questions there. Answer the questions, and then once you do, we will definitely let you come in. There it goes.
So the questions are they're just basic questions, and that lets us know you guys are serious and you want to be part of the group. So yes, you can request to be a part of the group, but if you don't answer the questions, we're not going to add you. So the questions are there for a reason. So, because we go in deep, we get kind of nerdy with this stuff, and we just want the people in there who are totally open to that kind of stuff. All right. So
also too, thank you guys for hopping on live with us. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to still comment. We're going to go back and, comment on things.
If you're watching live, put a live down in the comment. If you're watching a replay, put replay down in the comments.
Or if you're on your phone, you can always put one of these, of course.
You can actually do it from Facebook too. But yeah.
Oh, you're going to have to teach me that.
I will.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Also, remember to share, like, comment, because of course we're just you're on the ground floor of something amazing. So remember that you sharing these shows and liking and comment helps spread the awareness and help spread this to other people who aren't in any of our networks, and will continue to make us all, super powerful. Hey, Nikki, she said watching live. Nikki Wilson.
Sweet.
Nikki. And Lacey, hello. Lacey says she digs our music room. Isn't it cool? This is all Jay, especially because we talked about music last time.
Thank you.
Yes.
So what do we got going on this week?
So basically, let's just recap last week. If you weren't on last week and this is your first time ever watching us, last week we did a live on burnout or bliss.
Your choice.
And it's your choice. And we talked about a lot of different ways and key ways to, like, if you are approaching burnout, how you can turn that around or what you can do to work with the burnout. And I think one of my favorite tips from last week is just really protecting your energy. So if you want to hear more about that, or if you want to dig in and hear all of the tips we gave, make sure you go back on our page and watch the one from last week.
It was a really good show.
So
I'm kind of biased, though. I think all of our shows are really good shows.
Well, we should. Gosh, if we think our shows are horrible, then that would be bad, wouldn't it? Well, hey, welcome to our show. It stinks. Right? Like, that would be horrible. But it'd be funny. So today's topic is why balance is whack. Like, why is it whack? And Jay, this is like, he's so passionate. So I know some of you are sick of hearing me talk. You're going to really hear Jay talk this time.
So, I talk with my hands a lot and I tend to speed up. So if I'm going too fast, just tell me to slow down and be like, hey, what did you say? Like, rewind, reverse that. So, balance is whack. I really, I don't want to say hate, but I dislike the word balance. And actually talking to my father-in-law yesterday, while we were having dinner yesterday, he brought this point up. I never thought of it from this point of view, but it was actually awesome. He said, actually, I'm throw out my view first, then I'm going to circle back to him. But balance for me it's it's really something that's unattainable because coming from a fitness background, a personal training background, you always have opposing muscles you have to work. So, balance is a false sense of a realism in my case. So always about counterbalance. If you think of like standing on one leg, and I dare you guys to get up and try this now. But if you're standing on one leg, you constantly, if your balance is good or not, you're constantly shifting your weight to hold that said position. If you're on one leg, like doing a single leg squat, without getting really deep into this core stability, all that good stuff. But even if you're able to be in a handstand for how many ever minutes or whatever, it's if you like get a microscope or whatever, you zoom into your muscles, it's a constant just shifting of your muscles for you to sustain that position. So
that just made me think of, and I don't even know if it's the same thing, but like when you're driving, like your car just doesn't go straight. You have to constantly be like,
right. And that's why they say you have to get your tires aligned. Some people might say rotated and balanced, but it's more of an alignment thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, same exact thing. If you're driving and you take your hands off the steering wheel, your car isn't going to go straight. You have to constantly steer it or, shift it that in that straight position. And so we're sitting at dinner last night. We're talking about, what we're doing or whatever in the topic of the show this week. And father-in-law Tom says, I see balance as, you being there. Balance is like perfection. You like hit it. There's nowhere else to go. You're like balanced. And I'm like, wow.
Wait, so now I'm curious, where are the perfectionists out there? I mean, I know I have perfectionist tendencies. Are any of you guys watching perfectionists? If you are, like, drop something down below, because I'm sure you can relate to the perfectionism aspect of what balance, like this pie in the sky, brings.
Right. And I'm a perfectionist in some aspects. Other aspects, I'm a free spirit. But, it's like you hit that goal and there's nowhere else to go. But life is about growth. Life is about betterment and, the consistency to be better than you were yesterday. So if you're perfectly balanced, or if you hit that level of perfection, there's nowhere else for you to go. So if there's nowhere else to go, you're done here. There's nothing else for you to learn. There's nothing else for you to teach anybody. It's time for you to check out. That's my opinion on that. So with that, moving out from a physical place, from the body shifting or whatever, and moving more into a life type of thing, it's the same type of thing. Like if you want to talk about your work life, your social life, your family life, your personal recreation life, it's a constant shift of energy back and forth. And if you stay in one place for too long, you're going to tip over. So
gosh, that's so true. Because think about, like, as you're like sticking in one aspect of your life, and things start to feel really comfortable and smooth sailing, you maybe forget about some of the things that help you get there, or you become bored because it all becomes the same.
Right.
And that's when the balance goes out of whack. And you start going like out, because if you spend too much time focusing on one, some of the other ones fall out.
Like we touched on last week, those A types of us who are perfectionists, so focused on getting the job done, or focusing on building that business. If you really take note of things that are going on around you and in your life, you might notice it might be small at first, but they tend to grow. Other things around start to shift out of whack. So you're out of alignment of, your life, which is we blame it on other things. We blame it on working too much. We blame it on being a single parent or whatever. Much love to you single parents out there, fathers or mothers, because you guys are like superheroes in my eyes. Awesome. But it's we need to become aware of those things around us, because once we become aware, we're able to shift. And I mean, some of us may think that we are in alignment, but the thing with that is, okay, if you're standing perfectly still, like if Jen was standing on one leg, I'm not going to make her stand on one leg, but if she's standing on one leg and she's like, I'm perfectly balanced, I feel that I'm aligned. And that's what we do. We feel that we're in this place. But as soon as an opposing force comes against you, what usually happens if you're not like counterbalancing? So she could be here and I could just here, and she would shift over. And that's what typically happens in our lives. Work is going good and then something else happens over here. And then it just totally throws us off.
Perfect timing, because Nikki said, I'm more about progression than perfection. I love what you're saying about shifting.
Oh my God. I love that, Nikki. I love progression. And I think it needs to be a mental shift, a movement of awareness with people in general, to stop preaching the perfectionist thing and being better, even if it's 1% better than you were yesterday. Like progression over perfection. I love that.
Yeah, and Danae, hi Danae, long time no talk. She said, this is for sure a thing. When I focus more on work, my household turns crazy.
Oh my God.
When I focus on home, I get behind at work. But for some reason, I feel like I can always only give my all to one at a time.
You can relate to that.
Yeah. I'm like at a loss for words, because multitasking is a whole nother topic. I mean, it's like you can't really do 10 things at once, right? Like you just really can't.
Right.
But like if you're all in on something and none on the other, it's like exactly what you said. It's like, how do I make it work? And so one thing I've been focusing on is just doing a little bit with each thing. And I know, like, for example, like, I don't know, I just looked across at my sinks over there. So it's like, oh, if the dishes aren't done, oh my God, like maybe you just do a couple dishes, and that's, for example.
I mean, but it's taking you a while to get there.
Or like with work, it's like boundaries. If you go back to last week, burnout or bliss, your choice, the boundaries too is a big thing, right? I mean, it's like, okay, I'm not going to work after a certain time, because like you said, you start going all in this one section, and then it throws everything else.
And honestly, depending on your job, like, is it that crucial for you to work that much? Like, can you cut off somewhere? I'm gonna be like totally transparent with you guys right now. Laundry, I hate it.
He does.
Okay.
Horrible at laundry. He's good at laundry, but he just is not very good at doing
I hate folding laundry. I hate folding laundry.
He's really good at washing. He's really good. Like, he can get a stain on anything. Like, he's awesome.
There'll be piles of clean clothes everywhere, but I hate laundry. So what I've learned to do is either wash in segments, so there's not a lot for me to fold. I can fold, put it up, and be like, okay, good, that's done. And then, put in another thing. Or I take breaks along the way. I'll watch something. I'll start folding something. I'll go do something else and come back to it. That works for me, because I get overwhelmed and it just doesn't get done.
If you go with what Danae was saying and you put like all of your effort into that one thing, that, like if he does laundry, like if he's trying to get all of it done, and I think we counted one time, he's got enough shorts to wear for 7 months. Not really, but he's got a lot. And so, like if he waits till they're all dirty, it's a lot of freaking laundry. And so it's like, if he does it all at once, he's like depressed. And it takes him a while to come out of that.
I have a bit of OCD, so I'm very particular how my stuff is folded.
He is. So if I fold it, he's like, oh, it like hurts him so much. So anyways, we got a little off topic there, but it goes to show, I mean, the things I can get sucked in so much. I get sucked in. I get sucked in. And you just have to remember to move. Like if you've got all these different pieces of the puzzle in your life, just move, this piece forward, this one forward 2 steps, this one forward 3, just keep them all moving.
Right.
And some days they may not move, but you can't let them not move for a very long time.
Right. It's the
counterbalance.
Yeah.
It's shifting the energy.
Exactly. And energy, let's talk from a, high vibration, happy, energetic place versus, I feel bad or whatever. It's very important for you, your environment, the type of people you have in your circle, and your daily routines. Because if these aren't positive things, if they're draining things, they're gonna drain you, and they're going to pull you to that out of alignment place. So it's very important for you to make I don't care what it is, even if it's your house, even if it's your workplace, you should do things there. You should spruce it up. You should decorate it in ways that make you feel happy, comfortable, or whatever. Especially if you have a job that you don't fully love, but you're in that position because it's into a means to an end right now. So you can have pictures of your kids if your kids make you happy. If your kids don't and your fur baby
today
does.
They're all happy because it's Mother's Day.
Right.
Hopefully all your kids showered you with flowers and gifts and candy and whatever it is that
I
makes
remember
Mother's Day
one job I had. I was the manager of a call center. We had some good times and we had some bad times, but that was a very stressful job. So what I did was I would decorate my cubicle. We had a thing when everybody would go out of town, they would bring back, like, it was a small call center, but everybody would bring back like a shot glass. So we would have a shot glass collection in the call center. And we had this thing where we called it like the chair. So we had a Coca-Cola koozie that we stuffed with paper and like decorated and set the chair on it. So if someone got upset at a customer or, we needed to blow off some steam, we would throw the chair around and, we would laugh, we would have fun, and it would like decompress that situation. So it's those type of things that you have to, you're going to get hit with an opposing force, no matter where it comes from. It could be life, it could be social, whatever, or it could be in one of those situations. It could be at home. You could be having the greatest day of your life. You come home and you're I said kids like 3 or 4 times. Your significant other has said or done something.
Like what? Yeah, good job.
Something. Your significant other has done something to push your buttons. Now, yes, you could get pissed off, you could get frustrated, but this thing with couples too, we can't read minds. So we might have said or done something that we didn't know pissed you off. So what you can do in that instant is take your mind right out of that, put on some music, dance around, do something silly, and and be fine.
So we did get some questions, and we may have already touched on them, but I want to honor the fact that we received questions.
We love questions, so keep them coming.
So one of the questions is, like for moms, busy professionals, so like you have kids, you have work, you're trying to stay healthy, you're trying to keep the house clean, your social life, we could go on and on with all the things. So how does someone do all that and stay sane?
It's definitely challenging, but touching back on last week's show, you need to set boundaries. Definitely need to set boundaries. And if you have children, people may have different views on, what you do in your household, but if chores is one thing, make it a game for the kids to help with the chores. So they don't see it as, oh my God, I got to do the dishes or I got to clean up my room. Turn it into a game. So that way you're not frustrated when you come home, and they think it's a game. They're like, oh, I picked up all my toys before mom got home. I get extra playtime or however you want to do it.
Or if you're not getting your workout in, work out with your kids. It may not be like if you're an athlete and, you haven't really been able to do that now that you're a mom. Maybe it's not like the hardcore stuff you used to do. However, you can make it fun with your kids and you can do squats with them. You can do push-ups with them. You can do yoga with them. Kids love being a part of that. And, if you have a baby, you can reach out with your baby.
It's
I know it sounds easy, but it's like making that mindset, because Rachel said it's all about the mindset.
It's a 2 for 2 because you're getting them to waste energy too. So by the end of the day, they'll be burnt out. You got your workout in. Everybody's happy. So in a situation like that, yes, I and it's hard for me to say this since I don't have kids, but I have a lot of friends with kids.
Lots.
So, and a lot of the things they do is they incorporate their kids into everything they can. Now, that may not help with the work situation, but actually, one of my best friends, when he has to bring his work home, he he tells the kids to play hide and go seek while he's working. So, they're thinking they're playing a game, and he'll work for 20-30 minutes and be like, oh my God, you guys are the best hiders ever. I can never find you. Oh wow, let's play again. And so, he's getting work done. The kids are like, oh, daddy can never find us. So, I mean, it helps.
They're all excited.
Yeah.
And Carrie says kids love helping too. They're capable of more than we give them credit
Exactly. For. I think we have been conditioned. We put ourselves, like Rachel said, into this mindset, this mind frame that there's only one way to do things. It's like, I can only do this at work. I'm the one who has to clean the house. I'm the one, like, I can't get my workout out. I've done that before.
Because like when I'm home, if you don't know yet and you're just now tuning in, you've never met me before, I travel all over the country. So literally tomorrow morning I fly to Dallas. I've been home for 3 days. I've been home for 3 days, and like I'm in and out of town all the time. So when I come home and I look around the house and I'll see stuff here and stuff there, and I got to do grocery and got to do all this stuff, I put it all on myself to do it, even though I have a wonderful partner who's willing to help out. But I put all that on myself. So just imagine how that creates so much more stress and things for you to do when you just have to stop and evaluate and see, is it all
friction towards your,
because I get mad. I'm
your
like,
significant other.
How come?
And they're like, I didn't, So what I've started doing is trying to be proactive when I know she's going to be out of town or whatever. And I start asking beforehand, is there anything I can do, like, to help you? May it be like before she's getting ready to go or once she gets, I know.
So you have to be willing to let go though. Like when he asked that, I have to be willing to let go of some things. You got to be open. I don't have to be the one to do it all.
Let go of control.
And think about that. Like that applies to many people, but it also applies. I'm independent, I can do it I'm an independent woman, right? Like I can do it on my own. So going from single into a relationship, it takes a minute. It's like a long time for me to like let go of some things, and be like, it's okay. He's perfectly capable. And, you look like you want to say something.
No, go ahead.
So Carrie also said, I work from home, and when my son was younger, I gave him little tasks to complete. I even gave him a time card so he could punch in and punch
That's
out.
awesome.
It's just ways to make it fun.
But you gotta think out of the box. I think we've been so conditioned to, even in the past, you have to go to school to get a good job, and you gotta work 40 hours a week to be successful and all this other stuff that.
But it's like redefined as success. Sorry, I couldn't wait. Like I just redefine success.
Success is whatever you choose to make it, however you choose to make it. But the first step is knowing those areas that you're out of alignment with and being open to strengthen whatever you need to do to be truly, because you're not going to be balanced. That's a figment of your overactive imaginations. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be balanced. There's always going to be something that's pulling you in one direction. You have your things are going great at home. Then you have a big project you need to complete at work. Or things are going great with your guys or girls in your social life, and then crap hits the fan at home. So there's always going to be something that pushes or pulls you in the opposite direction. What you have to do is being willing to open up and shift that energy for you to stay aligned and sane.
Yeah. And what I would say for that question, it's like when you have so much going on, how do you do it all and stay sane? I would encourage you, I would challenge you to just take a time inventory of how you're spending your time. Do it for like 5 days, 7 days.
Or if that sounds crazy, do it for 3 days.
Do it for 3 days. Just do it for a period of time so that without judgment, you're not judging yourself. No one's going to look at it. But, when you get up in the morning, keep track of how long it takes you to do everything you're doing. And you may find some things in there, some time that you are doing things you could delegate.
Oh my God.
Or you're looking at social media more.
Facebook is a rabbit hole.
Or, maybe it's taking you longer to do another activity that could take you less time. So there's things that you could possibly realign your time to be able to make it not feel so hectic, because maybe like Danae said earlier, you're not like you're spending 100% of your time on this all day today, and then you're so wiped out and so drained, because you have to remember you got to put some me time, some refreshing time, some replug in battery time, which can be hard for these A drivers because we want to go, but you have to put it in, because just imagine if you slow down in order to speed up. And I know some people are cringing right now, like yes! But it's really important. So I challenge you to just take a time inventory. And if you find out that, everything is going the way that you feel it should, and you are like literally booked up and you're doing all the right things, then if something's throwing you off or whatever, then maybe you can consider, is that thing that's throwing you off as important? Can it fit in? Is there anything you can come back a little bit? I mean, it's just like all the pieces of pie, all the pieces of the pie, you take a piece out, you put a piece in if you want to keep it whole.
And this is, I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And just like, if you're trying to get fit, or I'll use another example. I usually go to fitness because that's my background. But if you're starting a new job, there's always a learning curve. You're not going to start the job and be like, oh, I got this down, I got it, because each job has something different, something unique you need to learn for your specific position. So you may screw up a couple of times, and then it comes to the point where it's second nature. And that's how it is with this. You have to keep on practicing these consistent habits, until it becomes second nature, until you just be like, it's like, oh, stuff's going crazy at work. All right, kids, here's what we're going to do. You do X, Y, and Z, whatever. You're on the phone, boss, I got this, or, whatever. It just happens. But when you first start, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's new, because we're conditioned to thinking, working, and believing things have to be a certain way. So you have to be open and willing to change.
And sometimes that means, when appropriate, possibly hiring a coach or a mentor, someone who can look into your life from the outside, who can really tell you, shift a little this way, shift a little that way, stop this, change this. They can really challenge you and even open up and expand your thinking and help you think of new ways of doing things.
Or kicking it with some new friends who are going to challenge you or push you in different ways, different situations.
Right. So is true balance even sustainable?
True balance?
True balance.
No.
Why not?
Because it's
constantly moving.
Energy does not stop. Energy is consistently moving, and life happens when you plan stuff.
Hold on, say that again.
Life happens when you plan stuff. So
go into that a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm sitting here thinking like, wait, I'm a planner.
So, okay.
Oh, you can't wait, but
so
life happens anyway.
You're right? Planning. The whole point is like, okay, for instance, you're saving for this big thing. All right. So you're putting $500 away every paycheck because your job is that bomb that you can do that. You're putting $500 away to save up for this big thing. All right. Heaven forbid something happens and a dear family member has to go to the hospital, and you have to pay those bills. So you've planned for this, but there's a tire in the road or there's a detour. So something else happened which causes you to shift and forces you to realign what you already had planned. So the saying actually is, crap happens when you plan.
Right. But okay, so then if I'm not using the word balance, so is true alignment sustainable?
Yes, true alignment is sustainable, because think about it. You don't go get your tires aligned once and they're like aligned for the duration that you have your vehicle. You have to keep on getting them realigned. You have to get them checked up, the same thing. And once you hit a certain level, there's always another level for you to get to. So, you may be good with home, you may be good with work. All those things may be, perfectly aligned. And your toddler is in preschool. That's a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about kids. And then from preschool, you have middle school, you have high school, you have college. So that, even with your kids right there, that's 3 or 4 different levels. With a job, let's say you get promoted. You have to learn whole new things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work different things. There's different responsibilities. Even in your social life, friends get married, friends break up, things happen. So there's always going to be a constant energetic shift in your life that's going to force you to have to realign. So true alignment, okay, I won't say true alignment. I would say true consistent alignment.
And counterbalance. Which is the whole thing of this, and Carrie makes a good point. Life has a way of keeping us on our toes.
Amen.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think, the book I wrote a couple years ago, Rock Your Lifestyle, it was like really a roadmap to help someone who's at a fork in the road to decide, like, maybe something happened to them, like they lost their job, etc. Or maybe they just are in their job and they're looking to find something new, or they're just at like a fork in the road. And it really just helps someone to really just take those steps and get that clarity on what's next. And one of the first chapter that I talk about in there is really taking an inventory of all the aspects of your life. So you're really just taking an inventory of your finance, your financial situation, your family situation, your intimate relationships, your physical activity and health, your social life, etc. So you're taking an inventory of all of those pieces and you're seeing, okay, which one is like not feeling really good to me? Which one feels off? And you might have 6 of them feel off. You might have 1 of them feel off. But really, like if you have multiple things that are throwing off in your alignment, then I suggest is you work on the 1 or 2, depending on how many, that's really going to help move the most. So for example, if your intimate relationship is suffering and your health is suffering and your social life is suffering, right? Then you look and you say, okay, where and how can I shift that? And maybe it's your career because you're working so much that's causing you to, lack on the health stuff. And then you're not coming home to be with your spouse and you don't have any relationship. So it's like, what can you work on? I mean, you can try your hardest to work on the health, but if you're still going to go all in 100 hours a week at your job, it's going to be a little more challenging to work on the health. It's possible.
I want you to touch on this since I'm glad you brought this up. Like, I don't know how many of you guys out there know how awesome Jen really is. Like, she wrote a book, so she's an author. She's a 2-time softball Hall of Famer.
Okay.
But you've had a business before.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking about, realignment, you've recently had to realign with that. Talk about that a little bit.
What aspect of it? Because there's a lot I could talk about. So which one do you want me to go into?
Well, let's talk about like trying to run the business and it not working and you having to let that go and recently restarting the business.
So being a driver and starting a business, I mean, I put everything in. Like I took a lot of the things I was hearing really seriously and really to heart. So at the time, the mentors, the coaches, the authors, the speakers, like the multiple people I was looking up to lead me into this journey were telling me that in order to make my dream work, I had to work nights, weekends, lunch breaks. I had to make sure that every time I wasn't in my job, I was pouring my mind, heart, soul, body into my business. And I did that. I quit playing softball. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I just literally went into hermit mode. I said, I'm all in. I'm going to make this happen. And that was great because guess what? At the time I launched my business, I wrote a book, I made a lot of products, I did all these things, but a lot of those things I did, I'm still going to be able to use in my future. But like a lot of that fueled my ego. And at the time, a lot of you don't know this, I was eating nutty bars and I was going to different, I think I mentioned this on another one, but I didn't mention why. I was going to different Publixes. I was trying to make sure no one saw me at the same place buying the sweets. And I gained weight. I ended up being depressed. Like I was just not fully happy because all of those other aspects of my life, like the social life and the health, were completely falling to the wayside so that I could build my business on nights, weekends, lunch breaks. I mean, I can be extreme and I can go. However, because I went so hard, and I heard this in an event I was at recently, it's cool to go all in for a period of time, a week, a couple days, like, but you have to remember that if you go all in for like a week, it may take you a week or more to completely rebound from that. And so since I went all in, it took me 2 years to rebound. Um, Letting go and closing my business, which was called at the time Lifestyle Change International, closing that business was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And it felt like a breakup. Like it really did. And I had to recover from that. And over the past 2 years, I've been doing soul searching, and I've been fueling more into myself and learning more about how I want my business to be and how I want to show up and the way that I want my life and my energy to be, so that way I can attract those mentors and coaches who have businesses like that. And I can stick to my guns with how I want to show up in my business when I'm learning from someone, or someone tries to poke me off balance, right? People come and poke me off balance. Oh, you shouldn't. And oh, you shouldn't. Right. So think about that. I mean, I'm talking about entrepreneurial stuff, but that could be any aspect of your business, parenting, health, etc. I mean, if you're really grounded and you are who you are, and you know what you believe in, and you know what you want to move forward to, and you're fueling yourself with nutrition, you're fueling yourself with sleep, you're fueling yourself with the spiritual aspect, and you're really like rejuvenating like your heart, your energy, your soul, your body, and you're taking care of that, then I feel like you can just move forward so much stronger in all the aspects of your life. And the biggest thing I learned from all of it is how powerful being in flow is versus fighting against the current. And the person who helped me out with that the most was Emily Rivera, the angel coach. She helped me out with that this year, and I would definitely highly recommend. I mean, she was amazing. So is that what you wanted me to go in?
Perfect. So basically you were saying you poured all of your energy into your business.
All of it.
So you basically fell out of alignment with life.
Yeah. And if it were appropriate, I'd tag all my friends from that time, and they would be like, oh, this girl just fell off the face of the earth. I mean, I was gone. I was gone, and it hurt. It really did. It did. Yeah. A whole box of nutty bars in one sitting, multiple times a week.
Oh my God.
Right. Like, I mean, and I was like hiding the trash down in my trash. And I mean, which is crazy because I mean, I've always been like a health nut over the course of my life. Right. And it's like, there's just times that it happens. And guess what? I was so out of balance. I had put so much effort and energy into that one aspect that everything else just went kaboot. And it was like, I couldn't even remember what the heck my name was.
So, being in alignment, having that counterbalance, balance is you're always going to need to shift in one direction. You're always constantly going to be moving. You're going to have to shift in many areas at one time. It's just how it is. But, that is possible. You can live a aligned, counterbalanced life, but a perfectly balanced life, no, because there's something always pushing you. Balance basically means everything is equal, and you're here. You're here, like everything is equal. Life isn't like that. There's going to be here,
and that's okay. That's the fun about it, right? And if you're grounded in who you are,
you can make it work.
You can make it work. And like Rachel said before, the mindset, choosing to look at the positive spin on it, choosing to look at the lesson in it, choosing to look at things maybe a little bit differently that help empower you and help you to make a better decision on how you want to react to it.
And being totally open and willing to accept those things. Recap time.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining. I mean, there's been so many great little tips here. I know one of the biggest ones, and Nikki helped pull this out, thank you, Nikki, is just progression versus perfection. I mean, that's huge. That's so powerful. Your favorite one that starts with an A.
Alignment.
Yeah. I mean, alignment is key. I gave you the challenge to, track your time for 3 days, 5 days, and just see where your time's going and see if maybe you can realign your time better. And the biggest key I took away from this is alignment is sustainable. It is. And remembering to nudge yourself back in.
Yeah, because you're always going to have to shift. Remember, shift.
Mm-hmm.
Shifting, being open to shifting, because I think Bruce Lee said this, or whoever said it. The point is, if you don't bend, you're going to break. Mm-hmm. So you have to be open and willing to be flexible. That's what I wanted to say. So you have to be flexible, because if you're so rigid and stiff, you're going to end up breaking. Kind of like Jen with her first business. Mm-hmm. Everything else around her broke down.
Yeah, it did. But I'm so grateful to be on the other side of it, and it's made me so much stronger.
And it was a learning lesson.
It was a big learning lesson, and I needed it. I'll take the whap in the butt.
The whap in the butt.
The whap in the butt. So, I think this has been a wonderful conversation. So once again, remember to share it, invite your friends, tag them in this, watch you guys will be watching the replay. So thank you guys for joining.
And if you want where we go in deep, like Jen is talking about her transformation right now in the group, ask to join the group. Mm-hmm. Answer the questions. There are only 3 simple questions, and I actually start my transformation tomorrow, and I'll be posting that stuff in the group. So guys,
and I didn't even make him do it.
Nah,
he chose.
Yeah, it was on me. Guys, this is possible too. Guys, we can be sometimes like, not doing that. I'm a manly man.
And hold on, Carrie said, like, as we were talking about that, she was like, orders Jenny's book on Amazon. I think it's on there, honestly. Because I put so much in the back burner. However, Carrie, maybe I can help you out if you really want to get one, or if anyone else wants to get one, send me a direct message, because I still have, total transparency, I have a stack of them in the closet somewhere. And when I wrote them, my name was Jenny Olding, and now I'm Jenny Holla. So, I will be rebranding and doing all that. So, maybe I can gift some into your life, 5 for the price of 1 or something, like something crazy. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, but something that you can gift them into other people because they're just sitting in the closet. So that was an off the cuff thing that I hadn't really thought through, but why not? They're doing no one's good sitting in the closet. All right. So as we close this up and move into what's next week, Jay's favorite thing, riding bikes.
Oh, so next month, I've decided, or I chose, however you want to say it, to team up with a group company called it's the Great Cycle Challenge. Basically, it's an organization that fights kids' cancer. So next month, we will be riding 100 miles for the month of June to raise money to fight against kids' cancers. And I actually put the link in the description of the video. So if you guys want to donate, awesome. We would thank you so much. Yeah, donate
for kids' cancer.
Donate to the cause. 100 miles in the month of June.
Each, like not him 50 and me 50, like 100, 100.
We're both doing 100.
And y'all know it's hot.
It's gonna be, that's getting into Florida summer. So but it's for the kids, man. So click the link if you feel moved to donate. Please donate. Nikki, I know you and Scott already donated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Anybody else who wants to, please do that. It's for a great cause.
And next week's show. So we are so excited for next week's show, which is just perfect timing. And should I tell them where I'm going to be next week?
Yes, tell them where you're
going
to be
literally.
next week.
So you see us here in our music room and we're sitting next to each other. But next week, I'm going to be in the Dallas airport tapping into the live stream. And next week's topic is going to be staying healthy while on the go. And it's like perfect timing for that topic because it's something that I'm continuously working on and continuously mastering. So I want to bring that to you. So please, if you have any questions, anything you're dealing with specifically to how to stay healthy while on the go, direct message us, post the questions below, whatever feels most comfortable for you. We can always ask questions anonymously if you want.
Yeah, if you want to ask anonymously,
we're game.
Just inbox us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep you private.
And that's what we're talking about next week. So next week's going to be just as powerful as all the last ones.
And you guys really want to tune in because she'll be almost done with her transformation.
Yeah.
I'll be almost done with my. No, you'll be done with yours.
I'll
right?
be done.
Yeah,
I'll be
she'll-
done for 3. It'll be my 3rd day done.
She'll be done. I'll be almost done with mine. So
And I would have just finished a softball tournament. So
that's going to be a
yeah.
powerful conversation because we're actually going to go into, some of the stuff that we've been using.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining, and we will see you next time. Mahala.